Sakit sa tenga.
Good morning! I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros. Ayan.
Nakuha natin yung TV.
Pampaganda na ito ng umaga. Happy Monday.
Oh, happy Monday. One week na.
Anong 1 week?
1 week, I mean, it's a new week na. That's what I mean. Na ano lang yung brain ko kasi yung sound waves.
Pampaganda ng boses yan.
Oo.
Kumanta ka.
Hindi na. Pero at least, di ba, maganda-ganda naman yung breakfast. Kakaiba rin ng breakfast natin ngayon. Puto bongbong and bibingka.
Yeah.
Kung din tatanong,
Pasko
ba't
na
maaga
daw.
Pasko? Hindi naman. This is a Filipino staple
Yeah.
naman.
It's
Oo.
just that mas marami lang kumakain kapag Pasko kasi nga nagiging morning breakfast yan kapag
Correct.
after ng simbang gabi.
Alright. All of this
Morning
because...
breakfast.
Morning breakfast.
Morning na breakfast.
Na, okay.
Sige,
Okay, sige. Babalik tayo mamaya.
Oo,
Okay.
ayusin muna natin to.
Amoy-
Teka lang, ayusin ko muna. Don't go away. Good morning! You're still watching Brunch here on One News. We're back.
Yes, we're back.
Sige, tapusin lang natin to kasi we have a guest coming in.
A lot of guests and a long show.
Oo. No? So, tapusin ko lang. Ano yung top 10 mo muna? Mabilis.
Sa akin is Bea Alonso, Julia Barreto, medyo bati
nakita
na
ko
daw.
yan. The world
Alright.
is healing according to netizens. Ang top 9 naman natin, world news pa rin. World news naman, ito yung tungkol kay Vladimir Putin. Kumbaga, siya yung nagkaroon ng record post-Soviet landslide in Russia's election. Ako, pag-uusapan natin yan hopefully tomorrow kung marami pa tayong
Siya daw
oras.
si judge, jury, and executioner.
Okay.
Sa 8 is of course yung marijuana-flavored vapes. It's in the market daw.
Nako. Kasi may mga nahuli, di ba? Na smuggled marijuana.
They have to
flavored.
check lang kung may marijuana component yung
Yung vapes.
Yung vape.
Okay, so moving on to top 7 natin, yung 7th spot natin is 4 Filipinos in the US were convicted of orchestrating a large-scale marriage fraud scheme.
Hala.
Apparently, this started 2016 and 2022-2023 sila ay nahuli. Mahaba-habang storya din yan.
Yes.
Ano ang top 6 mo?
Gap.
Wow! Wow, wala kang top 6
At number 6,
dyan.
yung sister ng balikbayan, mother and daughter, yung very bad news. Na pinatay ng brother niya ba?
Sister.
Sister
Tapos
niya.
yung asawa, kasama yung
Asawa.
asawa.
Oo. Nahanap
Okay.
sila sa backlot ng house.
Okay, now, coming at number 5. No permit, no exam, no more. President Bongbong Marcos has signed a new law that prevents schools from barring their students from taking exams due to unpaid school fees. Under the No Permit, No Exam Prohibition Act, all public and private educational institutions should allow all their students to take their periodic and final exams without requiring them a permit. Private schools previously appealed against the policy and insisted that it will endanger their sustainability. But progressive groups argued that preventing students from taking their exams is against the Constitution.
To get their insight about this, we have attorney Christine Carmina Manaog. She's the legal counsel of Coordinating Council of Private Education Associations, or COCOPEA.
Good morning. Good morning, Attorney Christine.
Hi, good morning. Hi, yes, good morning, everyone, and good morning to everyone who is tuning in to your program.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Attorney. First and foremost, what's your reaction about this law? Do you think it's fair to a private institution?
Actually, no. When I read the law, it is if we will really look into the details of the law, it's balance, no? There is a balance of interest and friction on the part of the school and on the part of the students. So this is, I think this is an okay bill, an okay law.
Yes, I'd like to clarify lang. There is a portion of the bill that says that in order for a student to take the exam kahit wala pa siyang bayad sa tuition, may option to take a DSWD certificate stating the reason na tawag doon, may crisis sa kanya, no? And,
Disadvantage.
Okay, disadvantage. Now, I'd like to clarify po, is this a requirement that the schools will need or it's an option that the schools have to request a student for the DSWD certificate?
Okay. Actually, no, under the law, a student, a disadvantaged student who is unable to pay the tuition on time can avail of this benefit of securing a DSWD certificate. However, if the school thinks that the student has a justifiable reason why he or she is not able to pay on time, then the school can still allow him or her to take the exam. So in a way, it is the certificate is an option of the student.
Okay.
And in a way, it's also an option of the school.
I'd like to clarify also, Attorney, on the side of the student, you said it's an option of the student. So for example, nag-request si student na pwede ba mag-exam muna ako kaso wala pa yung tuition ko. Sabihin ng school, no, you're not qualified to take the exam dahil may kulang kang bayad na hindi naman justifiable. Can the student bypass this and go to the DSWD and request for the certificate and override the school and show it to them?
In a way, yes, that is the remedy that is
okay.
given to the student. But again, no, the usual procedure or practice is when if a student goes to the school, explains that I'm not able to pay on time, please allow me to take the exam.
Okay.
And most often than not, the school allows the student to take the exam. Basta mag-provide siya ng some kind of promissory note or a promise that he or she will pay, let's say, in the next cycle.
Attorney, you said earlier, no, for you, this new law is it's fair, no? Sabi niyo nga po, no? But some progressive groups would say it's not, na at the end of the day, parang lugi pa rin yung mga estudyante pagdating dito sa pagpapatupad ng law nito. Number one of their concern is that in this law, hindi daw po malinaw kung ano-ano po, kung sino-sino po, or paano po masasabi na disadvantage yung mga students. What's your take on that?
Well, actually, no. In the law, wala talagang definition kung sino or ano ang disadvantaged student. But if you will really read the law, it's provided there that the definition or kung sino yung disadvantage will be provided or defined under the implementing rules and regulations.
Okay.
So, it's there, no? There is a way to identify sino talaga yung mga students who can avail or use this law to their advantage.
But attorney, clarify lang for our viewers, no? Pardon also our ignorance, but with or without this law that we are now about to implement pending the IRR, is it safe to say that not allowing students to take exams is a violation of their constitutional rights? Most progressive groups would agree with that statement.
I don't think so, no, because the student is still allowed to continue with his or her education. Of course, our private schools rely on the tuition fee to continue giving those educational services on the condition that the student will follow its policies, its rules, including the payment scheme.
Okay.
Now, in this case, no, when a student is not able to pay their tuition, it's in a way case-to-case basis, depending on his or her circumstances, if justifiable talaga yung hindi niya pagbayad on time.
Okay.
Attorney, no, another concern would be ang sinasabi po nila ay nawala or wala daw na mas mabigat na penalty pagdating naman po dun sa mga eskwelahan na hindi susunod dito sa bagong batas na ito.
Well, actually, there is a consequence for school who will not follow the law. They are subject to administrative sanctions of DepEd, CHED, and TESDA, as the case may be. So it's also included in the law. I think what we need to clarify then, no, this law, the mechanism that the law indicates here is already practiced by our school. Yung promissory notes, payment, installment payment. The added highlight here is that the student is with another remedy, which is the DSWD certificate. But at the same time, it balances their interest in a way that the school can still continue requiring the students to pay on time.
Yes, attorney, yung concern lang are there safeguards? Ang concern ng maraming grupo that adding this layer, which will benefit both student and school, yung certificate sa DSWD, baka it will be another avenue for added bureaucracy or red tape. Now, are there safeguards that will be put in the IRR to make sure hindi maabuso sa side ng DSWD ang pag-i-issue ng certificate?
Yes, actually, that's one of the things that we would really want to deliberate and discuss when coming up with the IRR, because that's also our fear. That's one of the fears of the schools, na baka naman the intent of the law is really good, no? But we don't want it to be abused.
Yeah.
Kasi it's susceptible, no, to certain, we're not saying all, but there may be an instant that the student will just keep on applying for the certificate, keep on giving a certificate to the school. But in reality, that student is able to pay. Right?
Okay,
So that's what we don't want to happen. We really want this law to benefit those students who really need it.
But having said that, does your group have any plans to appeal this law or take it to the Supreme Court? Or paano ba? Makasama po kayo when it comes to implementing, magkaroon ng pag-uusap before mailabas yung IRR nito, attorney?
Well, actually, no, we want to be involved or siguro involved in the discussions in coming up with the IRR. Especially, we would really want to know or give our input in coming up with the definition of of who is a disadvantaged student, yung criteria, yung requirement for availing of the benefit under the law. And we also want to ensure that whatever procedure that the implementing rules and regulations will have will be, in a way, seamless or will not be a burden to the student or to the school.
All right, on that note, thank you so much for your time, Attorney Christine Carmina Manaog, Legal Counsel of Cocopea.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, arriving. Now let's move on to the next. Heating up at number 4, the Atin Ito Coalition is planning another mission in the West Philippine Sea. The civilian-led coalition is targeting Scarborough Shoal or Bajo de Masinloc as their potential destination. Atin Ito's co-convener Rafaela David said they are considering the inclusion of international observers in their mission. Atin Ito had their first mission to the West Philippine Sea in December of 2023. They were supposed to deliver supplies to Filipino troops and fisher folk there. But the convoy was cut short after being shadowed by Chinese vessels. Oo, in Christmas gifts ata yan, no? For the soldiers.
Actually,
nabigay nila sa ata sa island
Sa
na
island.
i-distribute na lang sa mga nasa boat.
Oo, kasi nga 'di ba nagkaroon nga ng mga hindrance during that
yeah,
mission. Pero yun nga, they're planning to do it again and hopefully sana wala namang mangyaring masama din at hindi ma-cut short yung kanilang trip kasi sayang din naman yung effort na ginagawa.
But that's a good idea, magsama ng international observers
para
makita nila.
oo.
And let's see how China will react knowing that they're international observers, kung matapang ba sila mag-block ng atin na convoy of peace. Convoy of love.
Oo, sige. Alamin na natin ano pa yung ating next story for today. Moving over to our top 3, President Bongbong Marcos signs into law the new Philippine Passport Act. Under the measure, the DFA will establish and maintain an online application portal for passports. The law also mandates the agency to arrange accommodations for certain individuals. These include senior citizens, PWDs, OFWs, pregnant women, and their children, among others. Okay. So, yan yung natin, yung bagong bill na...
On the passport, yeah.
The new Philippine Passport
kasi
Act.
the old way of doing it, I think, a few years back, meron naman lane or special accommodations for PWD and senior citizens. Ang problema, nakahalo sila with other VIPs. So, yung linya nila, sometimes, medyo mahaba ang tagal ng process, nahihirapan ang mga senior citizens. So this is
Pwede mag-request ng application
Yes.
na sa ibang lugar pa pwede yun.
But this is welcome news kasi magkakangipin na ang
Yeah, but what they need to look into also, tsaka alamin
Yeah.
natin ano yung update doon sa pakikipagtulungan nila with PSA, because you remember there were several Chinese nationals who were able to obtain Filipino passports. That was last year, if I'm not mistaken. And yun nga, gagamitin ito para makakuha din ng
Actually, ang
birth certificates, ha?
Yeah.
Did I say it correctly?
Yeah.
There were Chinese nationals who were able to obtain Filipino birth certificates.
But
And ginagamit itong birth
Yeah.
certificates na to get passport.
ang
Filipino
issue nito
passport.
hindi sa DFA side na eh. Basta sa
Yes, but they have to, supposedly they're going to, ang tawag dito, partner, do something about it na para, kasi syempre ginagamit yung Philippine
No, I know.
passport.
But ang mandate
diba?
kasi
Ay, Philippine, yung birth certificate.
ang part lang kasi ng DFA, when they check na it's a legal and hindi fake ang birth certificate at galing sa PSA, kasi verify nila galing na sa
Oo.
PSA. Ang titignan nila, bakit nakapag-certify ng birth certificate ang PSA?
Yeah.
From the civil registrar dapat kasi yon, hindi galing doon. So meron na flow from civil register supposedly
Exactly.
going to PSA. So
That's
PSA
why
has to
meron
take
nga
a
daw
look.
silang gagawin na from last year yun sinabi.
Yeah.
Para ma-ensure na hindi magagamit itong mga passport, birth certificate na to
Oo.
in applying for the Philippine
Kasi on the
passport.
side of the DFA, they received flack for it. But in-explain nila, look, we verified it, tinawagan namin ng PSA, these were legal and we cannot refuse documents that are authentic on their part. And as far as they were concerned, the documents given to them was authentic and verified by no less than PSA.
Kaya nga di ba
So,
nagkaroon ng hearing regarding that.
Yes.
So yun yung dapat asikasuhin din ng kumbaga ng both departments, diba? Ng Department of Foreign Affairs and the Philippine Statistics Authority to make sure na yun nga hindi na maulit yung ganong pangyayari. But yun, this is a welcome development. Isa sa mga laws na pinirmahan recently ni President Bongbong Marcos, yung New Philippine Passport Act. And with regards to that, ay makakausap natin today, di ba?
yes, si Von Ryan Pangwi, Acting Director of DFA Passport Division, is now joining us live via Zoom. Good morning, Sir Von. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on Brunch.
Good morning po. Good morning to our viewers.
Tell us more about this new law po.
The new passport law, which the department has been laboring and with the legislature para may pasa pa tong bagong batas na ito. We are glad that the law has been signed. It will already help. The provisions of the law will actually help certain gaps na kung anong wala sa previous law, pwede nating ma-offer sa ating mga kababayan dahil sa bagong batas na ito. For example, may provision for emergency passports.
Okay.
Dati-rati kasi, pag nawalan ka ng pasaporte sa ibang bansa, either sometimes you lose it, sometimes may cases na yung napipickpocket ka.
Yes.
There are many cases like that. You need to, for example, hindi ka naman babalik immediately sa Pilipinas. You have to continue on your journey. We have provisions now for an emergency passport na pwede mo gamitin yon para matuloy mo yung journey mo habang hinihintay mo yung bagong passport na parating.
Yun.
And for example, there are also provisions wherein ang mga those who would like to revert to their maiden name, mas madali na pong gawin yon. All you have to do is to present certain IDs para lang po may makabalik na kayo sa maiden name. Things like that. And most especially, though of course we will have to develop the necessary technology for this, but at least may legal basis na tayo. Pag renewal, simple renewal, yung wala kang papalitan ng detalye. For example, sa passport, pero OFW ka sa labas na bansa or senior citizen ka, there will be provisions wherein pwede na kayong mag-non-appearance
Okay.
passport renewal.
Yeah, ang question po dito, Director, no, siyempre may online portal na tayo and a lot of people are scared na yung baka naman hindi ito safe. So how safe po ito? Anong safeguards meron po on your end to ensure na all information passing through that portal is secure?
Yan, si Acting Director of DFA Passport Division ay nawala. Si Von Ryan Pangwi. Siya po yung Acting Director of
sayang,
DFA
ang ganda
Passport
sana
Division.
yung topic na ito. Madaming questions kasi mga kababayan natin, but technical difficulties right now.
Paano daw may secure yung mga information
I know.
natin dun sa portal na yon?
Ay, nawala
Internet pa naman natin.
Hala. Anyway,
Questionable.
sige. Okay.
Sige, we'll try to get him back.
Yes, don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa tayo. Stay with us. You are still watching Brunch here on One News. Now let's talk more with Director Von Ryan Pangwi, Acting Director of DFA Passport Division, is back joining us via Zoom. Welcome back po, Director.
Apologies, I think may technical issues kami dito sa
Don't worry.
No problem.
Apologies. But I've heard your question.
Yes, mas lalo na, Director, pag may mga technical issues, kasi yung takot yung mga kababayan natin, so they're just looking for reassurances na safe ang mga info.
We, the DFA, especially our system provider, assures the public na our system is totally safe. So far, makasabi ko, the DFA, at least the passport system, has not been in any data breach, a verified data breach in the past couple of years. We have a secure database, we have a secure data line, which will ensure that your data is well protected. Kasi very especially
Yeah.
nagbibigay kayo ng data
Yeah.
sa amin, name, pangalan ng parents, the rest, which are required, by the way, sa passport application. We assure the public that your data is totally safe.
Okay. Director, it says here the law also mandates the agency to arrange accommodations for certain individuals such as senior citizens, PWDs, OFW, pregnant women. Ano po klaseng arrangement itong sinasabi na ito sa bagong batas?
Actually, yung provision na yan, it puts into law what is already practiced sa DFA.
Okay.
Dati-rati we have a courtesy lane for pregnant women,
Yes.
Yeah.
for children under 7 years of age, senior citizens. All of these, dati namin binibigyan already ng courtesy dito sa DFA. We just ensure na in the new law, dapat may lagay sa batas niya para to put it in stone, ika nga.
Yeah,
na
oo, officially,
offer
ganon.
services. Yes.
Yes, Director, no, madami nagtatanong kasi before, it took them 2 to 3 weeks, no, pag kunyari nagkaroon, let's say for example, a media practitioner magkaroon bigla ng coverage because may something breaking sa ibang bansa, wala siyang passport. May time before na may special circumstances sa DFA na they will allow you to process yung passport para mas mabilis. Ang question po nito, now with this new law in place, and for all these emergency use passports, gaano kakabilis na po ang processing nito?
The DFA, even before the law was passed, the DFA, at least dito sa Metro Manila, dati-rati 10 days to 12 days yung 10 days, 12 days yung 7 days yung express, 10 days
Okay.
yung express namin. Nowadays, it's 5 days ng express namin. 5 working days, 5 working days
Yes.
express namin, and 7 work days po yung regular processing namin. Same, even in our regional areas, medyo na-shorten po natin yung we've shaved off certain number of days as for passport processing. I must note though.
Go ahead.
The Philippines passport system is among the fastest mag-issue. Relative to the large amount of applications na nakukuha, medyo mabilis po actually ang Pilipinas pag-issue ng passport compared to certain countries.
But I want to go to the issue about penalty for passport fraud and other crimes. Are there any additional or changes po regarding that?
Ang problema kasi sa old law, inflation tumaas kaya nilang bayaran yung mga So what we did is to increase the penalties and to regularize the penalties. Kung dati-rati 15,000 to 60,000 yung penalties, it's now 100,000 to 250,000 ang increase ng penalties. At the same time sa imprisonment, medyo tinasa namin ng konti. For example, yung dating 16 months to 6 years, naging 6 years to 12 years ngayon. Mga penalties on
malaki, oo.
different penalties nakalagay sa yung dating mga penalties increased po yung fine at saka increased po ng amount of the length of imprisonment na nakalagay ito.
Also taking this opportunity, baka you can answer this question kasi kanina pinag-uusapan din namin ni Diego dito yung tungkol doon sa issue ng birth certificates natin na na-obtain ng mga Chinese national at nagkaroon nga po ng issue dyan. And it says here last year in DFA there were talks about memorandum of agreement with PSA regarding the integration of systems. What's the update on this?
There are agreements already between the PSA and the DFA, but primarily it's with our authentication. And we're now pursuing a different arrangement with PSA as regards to mga birth certificates.
Yes.
Ang issue kasi ngayon sa amin is, I've got to admit, they present to us authentic birth certificates.
Yes.
They'll present us authentic IDs, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
For you to get a passport, all you have to do is to present is a birth certificate and an ID.
Exactly.
And to be honest, magaling na rin sa mga to kasi ini-interview namin, apparently from our investigation, they speak the local language. Nagtatagalog na, nagbibisaya na, things like that. They speak the local language. They present authentic birth certificates and IDs. Medyo mahirap na yan mahirap na yan na that's why that's why in each case ni-investigate namin ang mga cases nito, and the DFA is serious, they is extremely serious in putting a stop to this. Kaya pati yung pag-process namin, pati yung pag-interview namin, we have to do certain changes.
Okay.
Yun.
I will not tell kasi
But I'd like to ask, no?
I assure the public that DFA is investigating these cases very seriously.
On that
And
note,
we want to ensure we want to protect the integrity of the Philippine passport for all Filipinos.
yeah, with regard to that issue, lastly na po, Director, sorry, no, I'd like to ask lang, for example, Paul, you were saying, kunyari, kasi authentic naman, authentic naman yung birth certificate, pero yung interviewer nyo po may hinala, meron duda about the person applying and the birth certificate. Wala bang power po ang DFA to flag this even if authenticated ng PSA, galing sa PSA nga yung birth certificate?
We do, especially pag may mga cues kasi na may mga cues kaming hinahanap which are red flags to us. At pag those are triggered, may proseso po kami wherein hindi namin pwedeng ma-issue ng pasaporte ang taong ito.
Okay,
Until
that's good to
further
hear.
investigation.
Yeah,
All right, on that
Alright.
note, thank you so much for joining us, Von Ryan Pangwi, ang Acting Director of DFA Passport Division. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well. And
Okay, so
Okay.
tuloy-tuloy tayo
Tuloy-tuloy.
ngayon. What's our next story for today? On our top two, another government task force, this time for investigation into supposed illegal resorts in Chocolate Hills. The DILG says it has mobilized a team to ascertain any liability of local officials. It warns that those who will be found complicit or negligent will face legal actions. This comes after a resort called Captain's Peak, found in the Chocolate Hills, went viral. Shortly after, it was revealed that there are other resorts in the area.
Not one, not two, but three.
Oo. Tsaka yung, they have to investigate that also. Although sinasabi nila itong two other resorts na to are compliant with all of the requirements, they have to check into it also. Kasi nakita natin sa tuktok mismo ng, ng Chocolate Hill.
Kaya nga sinasabi nila, hinahinay lang tayo sa galit sa mga may-ari ng sa resort. Kasi hindi na naman natin alam if they were actually bribery allegations in question. Baka there's a flaw lang in the application system. For example,
the approval.
in Captain's Peak, di ba, it was obvious na nag-rely lang sila kung anong information meron sila. Yung seaman na may-ari na naggusto mag-invest na pera, nag-inquire kung gusto namin magtayo ng resort dito sa property ito, ano kailangan, ginaid sila and they were following accordingly. Although they did admit, hindi dapat sila nag-operate. But they were
Dahil
allowed.
wala silang ECC.
But they were allowed to build.
You have to remember, di ba sinabi nga ng DNR, if it's a private land-owned, di ba, pwede silang mag-build pero according pa rin doon sa law na may guidance ng DNR.
Tsaka yung blending ng colors ang issue ata sa Captain's Peak eh.
Kaya lang yun nga, ang problema, dun sa ibang resorts, sa mismong tuktok, di ba? Anong klaseng guidance yung meron doon ng DNR that they allowed even dun sa tuktok
yung
na
ladder,
mag-construct?
yung ladder sinalpak sa taas ng ano.
Di ba? That's
Oo.
what I'm saying.
Oo nga.
Hindi ako selling yun lang.
I-reinforce ko lang yung sinabi mo. Hindi naman kita kinakontra. Kana naman kinakontra.
Wala akong sinasabi kinokontra mo
Napaka-bossing naman nito. Hindi pwedeng
Sinasabi ko lang,
sang-ayunan.
parehas lang tayo na sinasabi.
Sige, lahat. Tama ka lahat.
Dahil Lunes ngayon.
Tama ka lahat.
Our top story. Ano kaya ang ating top
Yes
story?
po, ma'am.
Yes. Nako, mabigat din ito ha. Our top story. Uy, grabe ka! Huwag kang ganyan. Okay.
Hindi, ginagaya ko lang si ma'am sa viral.
Kasi ito nga. A teacher who went viral for the wrong reasons. The Department of Education is now looking into the incident. The details in this report.
Wala kayong mararating. Ako na nagsasabi sa inyo. Wala kayong lugar sa mundo. These were the words of an unidentified teacher who went viral online. She appears lashing out at her students for their bad behavior via TikTok Live. The uploader's account is now private, and the teacher has yet to comment on the matter. Netizens were quick to call her out for unprofessionalism. But there are also those who sympathize, noting how teaching can be so draining. For the Teachers' Dignity Coalition, this should not be tolerated.
Hindi namin nakikita no na ito ay tama no, in fact mali no, na pagsabihan mo ng masakit na salita, ng abusive na mga words no, yung mga bata no, it's at the very least demeaning no, yun po yung tingin namin diyan.
However, they called on the public to reserve their judgment.
Malalim no, at fair na trial dito no, kasi we have to respect the rule of law no. Meron pong ganitong viral video no, that would serve as evidence, of course no. I would have to recognize that no, pero kailangan pa nitong dumaan sa proper investigation. Kailangan niya magkaroon ng formal charge bago siya bigyan po no nung parusa.
A psychiatrist says there could be various reasons why the teacher acted that way, but there are acceptable or appropriate ways to express emotions.
Kung nasa professional setting tayo, focus tayo. Let's give our 100% focus sa ating ginagawa. No? Kung maaari na wag muna tayong gumawa ng ibang mga bagay. Step away from the situation.
Under DepEd's child protection policy, the use of demeaning words can be considered as child abuse. The agency is now looking into the matter.
Mahirap kasi din magsalita, wala pa tayong full details on the incident. Diba?
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, sinasabi natin, we have to clear it na mali naman talaga gumamit ng mga ganong pananalita, no? Especially sa mga estudyante mo. But tingnan natin ano yung pinanggagalingan din ng teacher.
Yep,
diba? Doon sa video.
Let's get more insights following that incident. We have with us, Angel?
Raymond Basilio, Secretary General of the Alliance of Concerned Teachers, is on the line to join us to get
His
to get
insights.
to get details on this incident. Good morning.
Hello, magandang umaga po at magandang umaga din po sa ating mga tagapanood.
Opo, first off, ano po yung reaction po ninyo nung napanood niyo po itong viral video na ito?
Wala, una-una yung aming nakita ito ay immediately nag-seek tayo ng additional information mula sa ground kung ano yung mga circumstansya, kung ito ba ay totoo o ito ay stage na video. No, kasi kailangan natin establish yan. And then, ang mahirap dito until now, wala pa tayong nakukuha ng particular na details. Kasi siguro kailangan din i-preserve no, ng ating eskwelahan yung internal process nila kung ano man yung nangyari dito.
Yes, sorry po, Sec Raymond, no? Sec General Raymond. Ano ba ang policy po natin ba sa pagdating ng panenermon at paggamit ng social media? And ang kadikit po na question yan is, do we have programs ba in place na to make sure na kung may possibility na nababurn out na yung teachers kasi may danger po ng lashing out or even mas dangerous baka maging physical pa yung mga teachers. So do we have programs na pwede silang ma-debrief, magkaroon ng counseling para gumaang-gaang ang kanilang pag-iisip?
As a policy po, no, dapat yung ginagamit po talaga yung positive discipline sa ating loob ng mga klase. Pero dahil nga po sa particular na kalagayan na talagang kailangang i-address no, ng pamahalaan yung napakalaking bilang ng mga estudyante sa loob ng klase, at the same time ay yung overloaded na kalagayan ng ating mga teachers, ay ito yung mga nagko-contribute or nagpapalala doon sa kalagayan na kaya po sa bahagi namin matagal na po natin sinusulong na dapat ay maging stricto na tayo sa sabit ng class size upang makilala din natin yung particular na hirap ng ating mga teachers. No? Sabi ko nga, sa loob ng isang bahay may 5 chikitingga, napakahirap ng i-handle yun. Pero may 40, 50 ka sa loob ng yung klase, ay ibang usapin na po talaga ito at napakainit pa, no?
Right.
Talagang yun po yung extra challenge. Kaya sa bahagi po ng ACT, yun po yung isa, sinusulong natin na i-implement yung international standards sa class size Pangalawa ay yung pagsasabatas ng Teachers Protection Act na ang layo naman po nito ay kilalanin yung mga particular na kalagayan sa classroom upang hindi immediately ay maging biktima naman si teacher noong pagtatanggal agad ng lisensya dahil nagkamali siya dahil nakapagbitiw siya ng mga ganitong salita dahil sa pagod o dahil sa mga circumstansya. Kami naniniwala na maaari naman itong gamutin through different forms of interventions like seminar, counseling. Ito naman sa tingin natin ay sapat na dapat.
Oo, baka siguro depende din sa magnitude ng ginawa, 'di ba po? Ano po sa tingin niyo po ang dapat na gawing aksyon ng DepEd sa kasong ito? Although wala pa nga po tayo nakikita na full details on regarding the incident
Ang mahalaga po dito ay i-activate po natin yung grievance mechanism procedure natin sa antas-eskwelahan upang magkaroon po ng opportunity yung both parties na makapagpahayag ng kanilang account at mga salubin hinggil sa mga pangyayari.
Alright, patuloy po kami.
Yeah.
You have another
No.
question? Okay, patuloy po kami makipag-coordinate sa inyo regarding this matter. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Raymond Basilio, Secretary General of the Alliance of Concerned Teachers.
Maraming salamat po.
Yes, ang isang question lang in mind, I just was thinking to myself, bakit pa kasi nag-live habang nagtuturo? Parang wala, medyo off sa akin lang 'yan.
Yeah.
Oo, kasi we are also teachers. And we understand na minsan, at the end of the day, kung hapon ka na nagtuturo, nag-build up na lahat ng tension, pressure, kung ano-anong problema, di ba, biglang puputok ka ng ganyan. We don't excuse though the language na ginamit or representation niya to certain people in society na magaganda rin naman ang ugali, di ba?
Oo.
Pero
Yun nga, yung paggamit ng TikTok in class.
yeah,
diba?
parang, yun lang nga actually, paggamit ng TikTok in class. Bakit siya nag-live habang nagwawala?
Kasi
that comes to question na, was this stage? Kasi bakit ka mag-live?
Oo, totoo yan. Tsaka, let's get lang yung proper context, dahil yung mga child
Saan nanggaling?
protection, tsaka yung child protection policy, dahil nag-uugat ito, dahil noong mga nakaraang taon, maraming taon na beses, kahit tayo, ako nung bata pa ako, maraming mga teachers na ganyan yung may mga corporal punishment na ginagawa.
Oo.
During, class.
Tumayo ako sa loob ng
Papatayo sa tabi ng basurahan.
Hindi, ako sa loob.
Papaluin, ikaw sa loob, papaluin ng, papaluin ng ruler, diba? Paglilinisin maghapon, yung mga ganon. So, pero yun nga, tingnan natin muna kung ano yung naging full details.
Baka hindi
of the
applicable
incident.
hindi na applicable sa generation na to kasi yung ganun kinds of punishment. Pero on my part naman, experiences ko, hindi ko man rinisent kasi hindi man talaga physically ako direkto na target and may mga pagkakamali ako bilang estudyante. Pero there's new and better ways of addressing makukulit na students. Oo, di ba? Di ba?
Yes.
Di ba? Di ba?
Go na, bilisan mo. Wala
Bilis.
tayong oras.
Meron pa tayong oras. Nakikipagbiroan lang. And since it's a Monday today, and we'd like to start this week off with perfection as much as possible. You don't have to be great to start, but at least you have to start to be great. Zig Ziglar. And
Di ba sabi nila, practice makes perfect? Pero bakit nobody's perfect?
Konti lang, nag-practice.
Joke lang. Go na, it's a joke. Ano ka ba?
Ako yung gagawa ko, pinapractice ko.
Go na, rap na, rap.
Diba? Grabe ka. And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Laguzan Castro.
And I'm sure I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.